Hello everybody, Jen from Scrapping Under the Influence. I am back with my third and final project using Sweet and Spooky from Doodlebug Design for Country Craft Creations. So this is the third piece to go with my overall trick or treat folio. We did the photo wallet, we did the big folio itself with the big box pocket. This is what goes into that pocket, okay? Super easy, 8.5 by 8.5, 1/4 inch gusset will slip easily in and out of that pocket. On the front here, I've used some of the bits and pieces, odds and ends, and chit chat. I'm down to scraps with this paper collection, so that's kind of what the point of this whole project was to use everything that I had. So when you open it up, I've got the little candy jar shaker pop in here, a couple more of the chit chat pieces and leftovers from the candy doodle pop that I used on the main folio itself. Of course, these are all loose so that pictures can be tucked underneath. These two pieces are from the bits and pieces as well. Here I've used the list cut apart page and then some of the my type stickers, cardstock sticker letters, whatever you want to call them, cardstock sticker alphabets to do on a dark and spooky October night. The little October is from the this and that sticker sheet from the little words here. When you open this up, we've got another one of those list cut aparts here. On this side, we've got just a very simple flip. I've used the tags from the paper collection to make little tabs on each one of these pages. And then in the back here, I have some more of those lists, just matted, and one cut apart that is matted that I'll tuck back in here. That's going to flip back down. And then of course the chit chat, the border strips. I had to use her with her little frog and I had run out of places to put her, so she's on this very last flap here. On this side, I've got another one of those lists just matted. And then we've got a small waterfall here. I did mat the waterfall in its entirety, which I don't typically do, but again, I was just using up the leftover scraps from the collection, and then there's empty space underneath there. And then this just tucks in to keep that waterfall nice and flat. I did use magnets to hold this closed. And then when you open this up, it slides right down in here, like so, and you have the completed project. So I will link the tutorials for both the folio and the photo wallet in the description for this little insert. folio insert. And as always, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys stopping by. And if you make this project, please share it on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations and also in my group, Scrap Happy Peeps. You can also share it on Instagram and tag me at Scrapping Under the Influence. Let's get to our very easy, very simple tutorial. Okay, so for our little flip folio that is going in the back of our big Halloween folio, this is super easy, which was kind of the plan all along, was to make something that you could easily make as a standalone project that's not going to take a ton of work. It's not going to take a ton of paper. In fact, all of our little flips and things are either scraps from the two main pieces or out of my massive bin of black artisan scraps that, yes, I literally sat here the other day watching a movie and sorted them by size, because that's the level of crazy I'm operating on some days. So let's continue on. Now that I've had a 3-minute explanation of what I'm doing with my glue press. Okay, first piece of cardstock is 12 by 8.5. We are going to score this at 3 1/4 and 3 1/2. Second piece is 8.5 by 7. We're going to score this one at 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch. Set it aside. Actually, no, let's not set it aside. Let's go ahead and assemble this much of it. So, on the flat piece, I'm going to miter. I'm going to figure out where my bone folder disappeared to. I'm only going to fold my 1/2 inch tab. I'm not going to fold my 1/4 inch just yet. And I'm going to burnish that down. I'm going to bring this in, flip it over so my bumpy side is up, because we always want to fold to the bumpy side when we're folding our scored lines, and line this up on the opposite end. So here's our score marks. Okay. There's our score marks. We're going to put it on this opposite end. Okay. And I'm actually going to use my score pal just to make sure I get this lined up on top all the way back in that corner. And we're good top to bottom. And go ahead and burnish that down. Okay, I'm going to let that dry for a minute before we fold back that 1/4 inch score line. And while we wait for that, we'll go ahead and work on our other pieces. First up, we're going to do some flaps. First flap is 5 by 8. With the 8 inch at the top, you're going to score this at 1/2 inch. Next piece is 7 by 8. Again, score that at 1/2 inch. Next, 5 by, okay, let me try this again. 5 by 8, scored at 1/2 inch. 5 by 7, scored at 1/2 inch. I'm pretty sure I said something else entirely. 5 by 6, scored at 1/2 inch. It's early, can I just say that? It's like 8:30 in the morning, and I'm like, have a huge list of things to do today, so I'm trying to get this knocked out of the park so I can do other things. I have 8 t-shirts to make for a trip we have coming up. I have doodlebug design projects to get done that need to post while I'm on the trip, so I got a lot to do. My brain's not totally there yet. Last piece is 5 by 5, also 1/2 inch. Okay. This one, and we've done this before, we're going to want some clips. You're going to fold and burnish our flaps. I'm sorry, our tabs, not our flaps. The tabs on our flaps. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. And we're going to stack these like so. Okay. This is something I have done before on a number of projects. So I'm going to go ahead and push those together, use my work surface to get them lined up there, lined up this way. And while we're gluing, I'm going to go ahead and just clip them together like so. Okay. Then that gets your nice little lined up top edge here ready to go so that they're slightly spread apart. I'm trying to figure out how best to get the light where you can really see that. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and get glue inside here. I didn't mean to do this back tab. Don't do this back tab. That was me getting ahead of myself. And you're going to pinch them together. So let me get that off just so I don't end up accidentally gluing my clips. Okay. You're going to pinch it all together and then you're going to clip. Just like so. Okay. So that's our little flip there. We're going to set that one aside. So I told you this one's going to be super easy. Next up, we're going to have a little pocket. This is 9.5 by 2.5. We're going to score it 1/2 inch on 2 short sides and 1 long side. Doesn't matter which one. So I got to turn this. See, I try to use it like a normal person. I just can't do it. And then we have a waterfall. So I have 5 pieces that are 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So with the 4 3/4 at the top, we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay. The waterfall pieces, we don't need to do any mitering. We can just set those aside. Our pocket, again, I'm going to, I think my problem is I had to move my light to get to something yesterday, and it's not in the right place. It doesn't matter where I put it. It's like coming in from the side, so I'll have to fix that in a little bit here. Okay, so we're going to miter at the top of our pockets. And then we're going to go through where our score lines intersect at the bottom. And there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and grab our base. So now we can go ahead and fold over our score lines. There's my paper. That's the one I want. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this end. Fold and burnish. And then come back and burnish the other, or fold the other one. And then pop those up. Okay, so you're going to have about 3/4 inch to 1 inch of overlap here. And I know, I'm sorry, black cardstock's always really hard to make it really easy to see, but it is my favorite, unfortunately. So there we go. All right, so how I'm going to do this, I'm going to put my smaller side over here. I'm going to open this up. This whole mechanism is going to go over here. Waterfall is going to go over here. Okay. Pocket's going to go at the bottom. So this flap will sit on the top of this pocket. The bottom of the waterfall will hit just above this, so we can put another little photo mat in here to hold the waterfall down. Okay, so I'm going to put my pocket in first. I'm going to fold and burnish my score lines on my pocket. Okay. Yeah, maybe this is not going to work. I was really tired when I came up with this the other night. It does tend to make it a little bit harder to get out of the base, so I may end up taking that off with the undo here as soon as I'm done, but that's okay. All right, so we're going to put our glue on our bottom tab, and this is going to go just at the bottom. It should fit just inside the score lines, like so. And we'll fold it back. Okay, well, my OCD may have to just live with the slight pooling of the glue, because now this is annoying me. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm going to grab my big flap section, and you can do this on either side. I just thought I liked the idea of the small flap, when you open it, being over the larger piece, and the larger flap being over the smaller piece. That's my thinking there. So we're going to go ahead and put that up here. Again, flush with the top. You want to make sure you're not running into our gusset on the side here. Okay, now leaving it upside down because I need to do my waterfall next, and I always do those upside down. So I'm going to go ahead and fold and burnish the score lines on all of my little waterfall pieces here. It'd help if I actually find the score line, huh? As I get for looking up at my monitor while I'm trying to do this, huh? There we go. Okay, so this is just typical waterfall procedure. The only thing that maybe you want to do, because let me find something I can stick underneath here so you can see what I'm going to say here. Okay, so this little piece I'm sticking in the pocket is going right to the edge of my fold here. Okay, so this is folding over. It's going to bubble a little bit because it's actually slightly taller than my entire little unit here. So this waterfall, no matter how I put it in here, you're going to see something on each side. So if you want to, now is the time to go ahead and mat underneath here, which I think I am absolutely going to do. So let me figure that piece out really quick, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've got my matting down, so we can go back to the waterfall. And I'm not worried about this, you know, that black stripe being, or strip being there, because it's a waterfall and you expect to see it there. So, and if I wanted to, I could always go back and mat underneath there, or on those little strips if I wanted to. And I think since I did mat that, I think I'm just going to center that up in that space there, so we've got about 1/8 of an inch on either side. Okay, go ahead and put our next one down. Make sure it's straight. Okay. And again. Okay. And on our last one, rather than put it down so that we're going to have that little black strip, you're going to fold it back and you're going to put it on top of the one before. And there you go. So then when you flip this one up, it's just the matching. Okay, that's literally it. All you need to do now is decide what kind of closure you're going to do. I am going to use a magnet. As you know, that's what I prefer. You don't have to. And then I will do like one of the 4x4 cut aparts on like a photo mat here, just to, not a 4x4. I'll do a cut apart or some sort of little tag here that'll tuck into that pocket that'll hold that waterfall down. Which it's really not going to matter because this is all just going to close up like this and then go into the back of your big folio. But I am going to show you a couple of things as far as why like I cut this the way I did to mat it, and I'm going to show you why here in just a minute. Okay, so what I have done is I have matted the back side of my flip, and I've got my little tags, okay? So what we're going to do is you're going to put these, assuming you want to mat this like I did, and that's why I left this big gap at the bottom of these, is because I'm going to put these down so that that tab the top part of that tag hangs off the top of the page. So if you're wondering why they're going on the back side, this is why. So, this was by design because my thought was you've got two different tags in that, on that sheet that are not directional. You've got this one that you absolutely could cut off the magical, and this one would also not be directional. The problem is you don't have a fourth one. So what you could do is either take one of them that has just like this center image like this, flip it upside down anyway, and then put a border strip or a doodle pop or something over the top of it if you wanted to have that tag both on this side and on this side. However, I'm fine with it just being on the one side and sticking out the bottom like that, because what I'll end up doing is taking the border strip and picking out a different border for the top part of each one of these. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my glue very carefully just on that white part of that tag. And I'm going to line it up on the outside edge of my matting and then turn it around to make sure none of that white is showing over here. And you may have to kind of mess with it for just a second to get it exactly where you want it. And there we go. Like that. And then the next one, which actually I'm going to do the very bottom one next, just because I want my tags to be spaced evenly. So this is my very bottom one, and I still need to take just a teensy bit off of there on that one. Okay, so again, I'm just going to put like so. Line it up, make sure I'm good up here. And there we go. So you kind of see how this is going to go. Okay, so then my next one is going to go overlapped about like so. My last one is going to overlap about like that. Okay, so that's what you're going to have when you're finished with that. Over here, I'm just going to use 3x4 cut aparts. I did actually not think about this. This is 3 1/4, so you're going to have a bigger border on this than I typically would do. You can leave that if you want. You can mat underneath it. You could do something other than the 3x4 cut aparts. It's entirely up to you. I haven't decided which way I'm going to go on this. You could also, on this, continue this same little thing with the tab, or with the tag, that is, and instead of having that entire thing showing, you could do it so just that very top part shows, which is about 1/2 inch. So, and by very top part, I mean just from like that. Okay, so it's up to you. It's your project. You do it however is going to look best to you and how you want to finish it off. So, so yeah, that's about it. I told you this one was going to be super easy. I am 23 minutes in at this point, and all I've got left to do is mat and decorate. So this is another one of these, and I did add my magnets to the front, that's going to go together really, really quickly, that you will be able to make multiples of this one very easily. And it does fit, of course, in the back of our larger project, just like so. So you've got a complete project with 2 removable interactive elements, along with just a normal folio to put all of your pictures and things in. As always, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys stopping by. If you end up making this, please share it on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations. You can also share it in my group, Scrap Happy Peeps, on Facebook, and you can tag me on Instagram at Scrapping Under the Influence. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!